One team, though, that has been able to, I think, move maybe from potential into maybe we need to give them a little more respect, and that is Atlanta Hawks. They're up 3-0 right now. What is your first take of this Hawks team?
First off, they're playing really good defense. And they're, to me, that's one of the things that leaped out because I just didn't think they were going to be that good defensively. They're playing good defense, and they're doing it without a bunch of guys. I mean, Clint Capella, Okongwu in the middle, like there's no real rim protection behind them, and yet they're finding a way to get enough stops. And obviously, Trae Young, right? Trae Young is like 34 points a game, 40% from three, playing at this ridiculous level. But I've been impressed with their defense. I was impressed with DeAndre Hunter, who's taken a step forward for them and given them something meaningful this year. So I look forward to a real test coming up for them. They kind of beaten up on lesser teams. But that said, they won the games they were supposed to, Corey. That's got to matter for something, doesn't it?
Yeah, and the way that I kind of look at teams is, are you going to basically, you have the playoff, the championship contender teams, then you have a team that says, let's get better than we were last year, right? Like, how can we improve this year? And then you have the teams who are just kind of in the rebuilding phase. And I feel like Atlanta is in the second category where they're like, hey, we weren't very good last year. How can we take tangible steps forward to get ourselves into a position where we can actually see progress? We're not going to be a championship contender right off the bat, but we are seeing progress in Atlanta right now. And it has to be encouraging if you're an Atlanta Hawks fan or if you're part of that organization. You can see Trae Young really settling into his own. Like you said, he's putting up crazy numbers. But the most important thing is everyone else is stepping up and elevating their levels as well around him. Kevin Huerter, you have Collins playing at a high level consistently. Bogdanovic appears to be a nice fit for them, getting valuable minutes. So I'm looking at that saying this is a step forward, which is squarely fits you in the second category. But the question is, can you beat Brooklyn, who's one of the top contenders in the league? And that's what we're going to see.
Yeah, that's what we're going to see over the next few days. The schedule gets tougher for them, and we'll get a better sense. I mean, Brooklyn has been elite when Kevin Durant plays, and not as good when he doesn't. But that's still, I mean, these are real tests coming up for them. And that said, I'm with you. I think the progress they're making, the progress you can see already, and they didn't have Gallinari for a game, and he's going to be a key part. He's going to get them some wins because he's going to have nights where he's knocking everything down. I really like the way this team is constructed, and my only concern was that they were just going to have to outscore teams, and if they play respectable defense, they're going to be really tough to beat because their offense is already elite this season, and I expect, frankly, they're going to stay elite most of the season with the pieces they have.
It almost reminds me of in college football, where it's just one of those like Pac-12 offenses, or one of even the Big 12 offenses, where it's just like we're gonna put up crazy numbers, right? But like you said, there's no defense. So
are you insulting Oregon? Is that what's going on here?
No, never. I would never do such a thing. But it's interesting because if Atlanta, like you said, if they could just play respectable defense, they have a powder keg on the offensive side. You never know when Trae Young is going to go 5 for 6 from 3-point land. At any moment, it could go off. So as an opposing defense, opposing team, you must be a little sweating a little bit in your sleep because you're thinking, okay, they can go on a run at any moment. And then now they're showing the maturity to close out games where Trae Young's finishing for them down the stretch, which separates a bad team from a good team. If they can consistently do that down the season, they're gonna present a lot of trouble for some of these other teams that are trying to fight for that 8-9 seed.
Yeah, and maybe this team is better than that. Like I said, I think you and I both kind of had them in maybe they host it, but they're probably in the play-in games, and maybe they're better than that. Maybe they're a 5-6 seed that doesn't have to deal with that the way they're playing right now.